Greetings. My name is Doug Cooper, Senior Portfolio Manager at Empire Life Investments and Lead Manager of the Empire Dividend Growth Fund. Like many of us, myself and the entire Empire Life Investment team is working from home to do our part to help flatten the curve. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all those frontline workers out there. Without them, we would not be able to get through this unprecedented global health crisis brought on by COVID-19. So the purpose of this video is to describe my approach to running the Dividend Growth Fund, which has been implemented since I became lead manager in June of 2019. Before doing so, I want to highlight that an important enabler of this approach is the substantial amount of Canadian and global investment experience across our team, which collectively amounts to roughly 275 years, spanning both equities and fixed income. For the Dividend Growth Fund, we want to own the highest quality businesses that share a number of attributes, including a strong competitive positioning, attractive, visible, medium-term growth prospects, conservative capital structures, and strong management teams with a long track record of effective capital allocation. However, it's critically important to mention that we will only buy these companies at an attractive valuation, which often requires both patience and at times a contrarian view. And because we employ a longer-term view, about 3 to 5 years, we can take advantage of short-term dislocations in the marketplace. I would encourage you to watch my off-the-cuff video on Intact Financial, which is a great example of our investment style in action. So the Dividend Growth Fund should be thought of as a way to gain conservative exposure to equities, primarily in Canada, but also globally. As a result, the vast majority of companies that we aspire to own will have predictable and attractive medium-term growth prospects. And this ensures not just dividend sustainability, but also dividend growth over time. We will take advantage of the fund's ability to invest up to 30% outside of Canada, where the investable universe of high-quality companies is much larger. Given the cyclical nature of Canada's economy, high-quality companies with defensive growth attributes often command a premium valuation in the marketplace. So having the flexibility as well as the skill set to invest in the US and Europe and Asia is an important way to add value for this fund. Today, the fund is invested about 25% outside of Canada, mostly in Europe and the US, but also in Japan. And I would expect the foreign content of the fund to move closer to 30% over time. The portfolio will be fairly concentrated with about 40 to 50 names, and exposure to cyclical sectors such as energy will be modest. And in the case of energy, the fund will always be conservatively positioned, mostly with midstream companies and pipelines, whose free cash flow growth is much less sensitive to the level of energy prices. The fund is also going to hold a reasonable level of cash, and this level will fluctuate depending on the opportunity set. As an example, in January and February of 2020, the fund had a healthy level of cash, which declined during the COVID-19 related equity market sell-off in February and March. And this came down as we selectively put some money to work. And today the fund, I'd say, continues to have a healthy level of cash. And so we do have the flexibility to opportunistically put money to work in the event of any further market weakness. So to wrap up, both our investment approach and investment style makes the dividend fund an excellent vehicle for conservative equity exposure, primarily in Canada, but also globally. And our longer-term view and deep understanding of businesses, coupled with our global approach, really maximizes the fund's opportunity set. Finally, our investment team's extensive experience is critically important to executing on the fund's objectives. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay safe and healthy.